what we have in the news. My viewers and subscribers, welcome to News Replay JM, where we update you with the latest news, sports and entertainment. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your comment, and don't forget to smash that notification bell so you can be updated so YouTube can recommend us to many more. Thank you.
Nominations for the February 26 local government elections in full swing across the island.
Up first this afternoon, it has been a rainy nomination day in some sections of the country. This has slowed down activities in parishes like St. Ann. Now our correspondent Lloyd Hines has details from that parish.
What is happening now is that the Jamaica Labour Party crowd, the candidates have not finished nomination yet, and you see they are still inside the nomination center. The Jamaica Labour Party crowd is still here. Their time has really expired because 11 o'clock should be the time for the People's National Party crowd to come, and they are right now on spot being held by the security forces, and so we don't want a situation of any unfortunate incidents right now. But the two areas, the two parties are near the nomination center, which may not argue so well. But the security forces, as I said, are keeping things quite in order, right? While we await the exit of the Jamaica Labour Party group. It's now 11:18 and they should have been out already, but I don't know what's happening, but they are still there. The PNP is right on them. The Jamaica Labour Party crowd is still waiting on their candidates to come out.
Okay, Lloyd Hines there from St. Ann. Now, political analysts say the race in St. Thomas is one to watch. Both political parties have intensified campaigning in that parish. In 2016, the local government election ended with a tie. Our reporter Romardo Lyons now joins us live from Yallahs.
Very active day here in St. Thomas Western, specifically Yallahs. I am at Yallahs Primary School, which is being used as a nomination center. Now, about 3 miles from here, there's Hearties District, a small, quiet community. But right here, right now, these candidates want their hearts at ease. Victory is what will get them to that point. And today was the first step, nomination day. Candidates from the People's National Party have shown up and have completed that process. And you know they carried the excitement. They were here with their supporters, dressed in their political colors. There was dancing, cheering, jeering, a lot of stuff along that line. So that was really interesting to see. There were some complaints, however, from some people who felt as though they weren't able to fully show their support. That is because school is still in session, and the officers at the gate, they were only allowing 8 people at a time on the compound. So that's 1 candidate and 7 supporters of their choosing. Now, apart from that, there were some standouts. From the Trinityville division, we had the People's National Party candidate, Kimberly Thompson, who has written a book on pregnancy, on teenage pregnancy rather, in the Caribbean. Now, of course, her arrival was met by much observation. Just Sunday, she filed a report to the Trinityville police that the JLP's candidate, Dean Jones, had disrupted a PNP meeting in the division. And then a few days later, Mr. Jones was seen in a video in a tussle with a man wearing a red shirt in the parish. Now, as shown in the video, things escalated to the point where Mr. Jones pulled a firearm. And in response, the PNP called on the JLP to pull Mr. Jones from the ticket. But he's still on that ticket, and Ms. Thompson is determined to put up a fight. Now, there are some other candidates to watch. That would be the JLP's Wilbert Walker and the PNP's Rowan Bryan, who is also the Deputy Mayor of St. Thomas. Now, they're vying for the Morant Bay division. And that's a very interesting division. In Morant Bay, there's a Morant Bay market. Vendors have complained bitterly about infrastructure, specifically roofing. So in some sections of the market, there's no shelter. So vendors are wet by rain and they're burnt by sun. There's also the issue of space, forcing some people to sell on the outskirts, even in no vending areas. So in addition to that, there's a church corner landfill in the same division, the Morant Bay division, that was in the news recently because of a fire. Now, that fire wasn't the first at the dump, and environmental activists have raised alarm. So it will be really interesting to see how things play out in this division as the day progresses and as the election period progresses as well.
Thank you very much. A number of issues and controversy to watch there in St. Thomas. Romarda Lyon from St. Thomas. Now, another area to watch is Portmore. The Portmore Municipal Corporation is the only one where the mayor is directly elected. Kalisha Williams has been watching this race. Kalisha, are you hearing us?
Thanks, Herman. Yes, I'm hearing you now. So it is bright and sunny in the Sunshine City this morning. I am at the Ascot High School in Portmore. I can safely tell you that all 8 candidates for both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party have been nominated. First, the PNP supporters were out first. It was very jubilant motorcade all the way from the municipal office all the way to the Ascot High School here in St. Catherine. The People's National Party's mayoral candidate, Leon Thomas, he was nominated around minutes after 10 o'clock this morning, and he was joined by 4 councillors. The 4 persons were nominated: sitting councillor Anthony Wint, and he's from the Brayton Division. You had Vanrick Preddy from the Helsher Division, and Hashoy Gordon from the Greater Portmore East Division. And he's a newcomer to the scene. He took over from Yvonne McCormack, who died in 2021. And we also had the Jamaica Labour Party. They joined around 11:15. And Marklon Edwards, who's a candidate for the mayorship of Portmore, he arrived around 11:15 this morning. And he was joined by Tricia Walters, and she's a candidate, the newcomer from the Brayton Division, Dr. Renee Lavelle, Greater Portmore North Division, Patrick Barrett, Greater Portmore East, and Richard Mendez from the Hillshire Division. Now, Herman, you may recall, since the municipality was created in 2003, the Jamaica Labour Party only won Portmore once, and that was in 2007, where Keith Hines was the mayor and he defeated George Lee. So the Jamaica Labour Party, Portmore is quite significant, so they're looking to see if they can win another seat in Portmore. Currently, the People's National Party has a majority. In the last election in 2016, which was 8 years ago, the People's National Party won 10 of those seats, and the Jamaica Labour Party only won 2. I spoke with both candidates, both Mr. Thomas and Mr. Edwards, and they told me that they're both confident that they will win. So I guess we'll see what happens on election day. But as I can tell you right now, the Jamaica Labour Party candidates are still here at the Ascot High School, and they're kind of wrapping up things now. Overall, things went smoothly. I'll be moving on to the Bridgeport Division in a little later on to see what's happening there.
All right, thank you very much. That's Kalisha Williams reporting from Portmore in St. Catherine. Now we go further west. As we said, our reporters are right across the island. In Westmoreland, there has been some delay in the nomination process. Dwayne Anderson now tells us why.
Well, for starters, let me first tell our viewers that if they hear a lot of noise in this particular link, it is because we are in motorcycle country. So you will hear and see motorcycles going in either direction for the duration of this presentation. So apologies if at some points the audio is a little bit difficult to hear. Now, I'm standing outside the Gordon Hall Holy Trinity Church here in Grange Hill. This particular church is the epicenter of today's nomination day activities. Several persons are expected to be nominated here, from independent to the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. But what is really happening, we're having a time delay. Someone is running late. In fact, a lot of persons are running late. So far, only one person has been nominated, and that's Mr. Lawton Mackenzie, formerly of the People's National Party, now running as an independent candidate. He's, of course, the sitting councillor, or at least was the sitting councillor here in Grange Hill. Last local government election, he won by about 40 votes. Now, we were supposed to have at least 2 other persons being nominated between 10 o'clock and 11:30 this morning. So far, that has not happened. Not sure why. Though, at least one of those persons is Mr. Oliver Reed. Now, Mr. Oliver Reed, excuse me, a resident was just about to walk through this particular thing, but we'll continue. So, Mr. Oliver Reed, a representative of the People's National Party, He was hospitalized for a couple of days. He got out of hospital last night, I was made to understand, and he was supposed to come here to be nominated. We're not seeing him yet, but we'll be keeping a track on that to see what is really happening. Now, in terms of activities, things are really peaceful. Things are really progressing well. I saw several supporters of the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party gathered down in the center of Grange Hill, and they were really partying and celebrating together, which is really good to see considering some of the political images we've seen over the last few days, especially from Eastern Jamaica. Now, as I said, I'm standing outside the Nomination Day Center, and police personnel and soldiers are on watch, ensuring that things stay peaceful, and so far indeed they are staying peaceful. Now, what else can I tell you about here where I'm in Grange Hill? Well, as I said, Grange Hill is sort of an epicenter for a lot of the political activities here in Westmoreland. Why? Well, because there have been at least 3 representatives who have migrated from the People's National Party. As I indicated earlier, Mr. Lord Mackenzie is now running as an independent, and 2 of his former colleagues, Garfield James and Ian Miles, both of the Sheffield Division and the Little London Division, they are now running on the Jamaica Labour Party's ticket in this local government election. They are also expected to be nominated here sometime today. So as I said, things are progressing. School is still in session. I understand that the Grange Hill High School, they're having report day, and report day is really not as structured as normal school day, so it is not really being disrupted by the nomination day activities. Earlier we also had a lot of rainfall. Clearly that has stopped. The sun is out in all its glory, and things are progressing. So I'll be here in Grange Hill, here in Westmoreland, for all of today, and I'll be sure to bring you whatever sights and sounds that are interesting to you in TV land. Reporting from Grange Hill.
This Belfield division is one to watch, as historically the PNP never declared victory until the ballots make their way down from the hills. In fact, so much faith they have had in the Belfield division that they would always declare from the Bible, "I will turn my eyes unto the hill from whence cometh my help." No, they are not the only ones looking to Belfield. The JLP have been looking there. And following what happened in 2016 with Rhoda Moore Crawford's surprise victory over 3-term MP Peter Bunting, they are confident that they can make serious inroads into that division. Now, the nomination process wrapped up around 11:20, and all in all, it was a pretty smooth, nice, clean, festive atmosphere as the JLP made their way from the town center to parade and to go into the different divisions to make way for the PNP, who will be nominated at 12 o'clock. In Mandeville, I'm Courtney Morgan for TVJ News.
Okay, and we go now to a bit of some other news, as tomorrow in the Senate they'll vote on the Political Ombudsman Amendment Act 2024. Now, watchdog group National Integrity Action is urging the upper house not to allow the passage of this legislation.
The government used its majority in the House of Representatives to pass the act on Tuesday, which will see the ECJ assume the responsibilities of the Office of the Political Ombudsman. There have been concerns about its implications for the ECJ. Members of the Senate are to debate on the act during the next sitting. Founding director of the NIA, Professor Trevor Monroe, says the ECJ should not be asked to rule on disputes between political parties.
We are going into a local government election with unprecedented importance, and not expect that what happened regrettably in St. Thomas a couple of days ago is not likely to recur. And we're going to ask those who are managing the stadium to play the role of the referee. No, it's a risk that ought not to be taken. And at this point, the senators are there. Those of them who see the importance of this institution must follow their oath to the Constitution and good governance in Jamaica. And remember that neither the leader of the opposition nor the Prime Minister who appointed them can fire them. So they must speak their mind. Carl Samuda did. They need to. And they need to vote with what their conscience tells them that Jamaica needs, not what the party is telling them to do.
The Advocates Network has condemned the move of the government to have the Electoral Commission assume the responsibilities of the political ombudsman. The civic group has expressed fear that the ugliest forms of political tribalism are likely to manifest themselves during this election period without a dedicated institutional focus on regulating the political environment and mediating political disputes.